Howdy folks, today let's talk about the Letshuoer S15. I did a previous video and I wanted to do some mods on this and just kind of work out what was going on with what they did. First thing I wanted to get to the bottom of was the PR, the pressure relief. I don't know if it's really a passive radiator, but that's this vent here. This one is for the front vent for the driver. So I'm like, well, if this PR, pressure relief, works, then by plugging this vent, we should have no problems. And indeed, went ahead and put the tips that really seal well in my ears, and I can get easily pressure buildup using any kind of sealed IEM. So in they went in my ears. I can hear, pretty sure, a little crinkle. I don't know if it's the PR or the driver from the planner, but I heard some crinkle. And shove really hard, the sound just goes, it cuts out. It clearly, lots of pressure, and within about a half a second, it actually equalizes out. And I sat there. I could do this right now, but I sat there shoving them in my ears, and then like opening my jaw. So like if I'm saying shoving them in my ears so they're absolutely sealed as hard as they possibly can be, and then moving my jaw. Generally, if I do that with sealed in-ears, it's a disaster. I like it, it kind of almost hurts. You're like building pressure and then suction alternately as you move your jaw around. This counteracts that entirely. So this is pretty cool because basically how this works is you can add more bass to this without actually getting a pressure buildup. And I don't know why Letshuoer didn't say or do something about this, because it's kind of a big advantage in my opinion. Because you could just plug the vent like I did and get a bunch more sub bass out of this thing, but have no downsides, which typically the downsides are going to be that you get a pressure buildup, and for a lot of folks, they hate that. I've kind of been able to work around that by plugging the vent like 99%, but still leaving a little tiny bit of air that can escape, but this is better, right? It's better. I don't know why they put a vent on that other than to just further tune the sub bass. But in any case, here is Rumiku Wizard. Let me find it. Boom. And we'll flip over. And there. That is the pin gain. Also, I looked at some other graphs on the S15, and they didn't really look exactly like mine. I'm not sure what's that. A lot of those peaked, say, like before 2K. Mine is peaking about 2.3K. But in any case, and also on a lot of those other graphs, the bass on the S15 rolls off right around, well, it's like at the same level as the pin gain. And so by plugging the vent, we have 9.73 decibels of bass. And that is, in my opinion, super good because it's mostly concentrated into the sub area. You don't really mess up the mid-range or the mid-bass or any of that. And I mean, honestly, that's a pretty simple mod. But more than that, I just kind of wanted to talk about the pressure relief valve on it, and just to say that it does actually work, and that's really cool. For further things, this is the stock foam that it came with, and I actually like it pretty good. For whatever reason, that does a pretty decent job. I may mess with that at some point, but the pressure relief, I don't think I'm going to mess with this because of what it's doing. It doesn't seem to affect bass unless the pressure differentials are massive. And it seems like for just bass hits, they're not massive enough to make it kick in. And I would expect them to have done that on purpose. But anyways, just to talk about that. So yeah, pressure relief, do a little mod, get more bass out of this if you happen to get one of these and you want more bass. And I have talked to a couple folks that did want more bass. They said, really good, but just a little more bass would be nice, and that'll give you a little more, and it won't have any downsides. And right on, I'll talk to you on the next one.